I have to unlock the characters, so we have to do that on this account. I don't have all the characters on this account. Killager.
3, 2, 1, go!
She got gagged. Oh, please, not too much on me. The gyroid, I cry. What do you want? Oh, get gagged. I always go for the spike. I'm such a nasty player. Pretty map too. I used to do Smash Bros. Tourneys. Like at public events. Oh. Whoa, I didn't know she could do that. What the? Nice try. Oh, that's it. Oh, no. Oh my god, I'm still alive, dude. Oh my god, how am I still alive? Holy shit. Girl, please. You think you can beat the doll? Damn it. Oh, now I'm not scared of you, girl. I got no health. You're creeping up on 100. I love the Isabelle Kashiko. I usually play her over Villager because her kit is so troll and so funny. I love Isabelle. She's one of my favorite characters of all time, like, no joke. Everybody hates her in, like, Animal Crossing. I'm like, why? Oh! Not too much then. That was a little too much. But I don't have Isabelle on this account, but I want to unlock it because I always like, I want to play Smash online, but this is the account I have the online service for and the other one doesn't. Because I don't pay for a family plan, because why would I do that? So I need to get it. I need to get the characters on this one, so when I play online, or we have community nights. I used to kick my boyfriend's like cousin's ass at these things. Like he was like, oh yeah, like the straight guy like always would think he was like the one, and I would like always beat him in these, and he'd get so mad. Gagged her a bit.
Villager wins.
Inkling! Not on this map.
Go!
Gagged. Get gagged.
Battle. Sora.
I haven't played Sora yet. Let's try it out. I bought the DLC for one of my flights when I was traveling a lot this month, and I never played this.
3, 2, 1, go!
I know he's like really floaty. Good night. Thanks for hanging. Ooh, the reflect. I'll give it to you, Fox. Oh, he has a counter. Oh, I like that. That's unique. I wonder if you hit freeze on somebody if it actually freezes them. It's not what I wanted. He's a lot slower than I thought he would be. But it's because he's so, like, floaty. Whoa! Whoa! How did I survive that? You just spam this? Me when I... That move's kind of bullshit, but it's whatever. I would not be happy if I took that from a Sora main. It does freeze! Wow. Perfect guard into the freeze. Iconic from me.
Stop battle.
Let's try the girl bosses. I like they did the color swap, that's cute.
Pyron. 3, 2, 1, go!
I thought they didn't want a character to be two people in one. I thought that's literally why they separated Sheik and Zelda. Wait, why did they do that? They have different styles. Oh my god, Sakurai, why did you do that? Oh my god, they should be two separate characters. This is crazy. I can't believe they did this. Gagged. Do they have a spike? They do. Oh. Ooh. Not worth it. Fuck. The music here is beautiful. Oh no! I got too confident.
That was easy.
Oh, fuck off, twink.
Start battle.
Wait, I don't have Peach unlocked? Hold on, this is a hate crime.
Pikachu. Jigglypuff. Three, two, one, go!
I love playing Jigglypuff because she's also such a troll character. Her rest. Oh, I almost got him. Girl, you know when you play Jigglypuff, you gotta hit the rest. Get it, get it, get it. Oh! Oh! Ah! Listen, I haven't played in a hot minute. I'll get it next time. We'll get him next time. Oh! That was a little aggressive, mister. You want to get the rest? You want to get the rest? What's up? Oh, I didn't mean to do the rest. Ooh, my bad, 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 my bad. My bad, bro, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, bro, my bad. Yo, you wanna hit the rest? You wanna hit the rest? It was honestly worth it. You wanna hear the song? Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams. If I would have hit him, he would have recovered. Tiki! I'm not gonna do it. It's over. It's over! Hit the rest! I love her. She's so stupid in this game. Yo, Marth's about to get it. Marth's about to get hit with the rest. Oh, you're about to get the rest.
One, go!
You don't want these Jigglypuff hands. You don't want this. You don't want this, Marth. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want to catch it. Exactly. He wasn't ready for it. He needed to sit his fucking twink ass down. No, I just want to keep playing Jigglypuff. I forgot how satisfying it is to hit the rest. For anyone who doesn't know, Jigglypuff has like basically an insta-kill move. If you hit it right, you just have to, it's down B, but if you miss it, it's pretty unforgiving. And it's called the rest. It's this move. You can do her sleep, but it's this one right here. Hold on. See how she falls asleep? If you collide it with somebody, it does like, I think like 50, 60 damage. Pretty much almost an insta-kill. But that's why it's good to combine it with her sleep, because if you can get someone sleep, you can basically confirm their kill. But if you can't get them to sleep, you can also just land it without doing the sleep. But it basically confirms it like that. And also, after hitting the rest, she's asleep for a couple of seconds, which is pretty unforgiving. But it's definitely worth it if you can guarantee a stock. And she has great combo potential. Like, she's crazy floaty, and she's just like a better Kirby. Kirby isn't really good at turnies. Especially because Jigglypuff has a fucking insta-kill. You want to get hit with the hands? The Jigglypuff hands! Maybe I can hit him with the rest and get him a 3-stock. 3-0. Oh, the counter got me. Oh, maybe not. My bad, my bad, my bad. My bad. Oh. It's over. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Damn it. You know what? That's it. You know what? That's it. Didn't even need the sleep. Hit the rest. Okay, the combo? Chill out, buddy. He's mad I hit the rest. He's mad I'm about to hit the rest without even stunning him. He's mad I'm about to hit... He's mad I'm about to do this to him. He's mad. He's mad. Oh, you want to go? You want to go level 8 computer? You want to go with the combos? You want to go with the combos? You want to go with the combos? You want to go? Are you trying to spike me? You trying to spike the doll? That's what I thought.
Stop battle. Jigglypuff.
Matchup, troll matchup of the century.
3, 2, 1, go!
You want to hit the rest? You will never be PD Piranha, and you never will be. No, what's up? What's up? Oh. No, what's up? What's up? You want to go? You want to hit me with that little move? You want to hit me with that little move? I'll say goodbye to one of your stocks. It's coming. It's coming. Hit the fuck. Oh my god, this fucking ass. Oh my god, spamming the same move? Like, I would never do that. Goodbye. You want to hit the rest? You want to hit the rest? Oh, you are so lucky. I do not know how you got out of that. You want to fight the doll? You want to fight the doll? You want to fight the doll? Why does that do so much damage? Did you see how much that did to me? Hold on. Mr. Piranha Plant, you are a joke. Fuck. I thought I could land that. Whatever. It's okay. They made that character busted. It's a skill issue for the developers. Why am I not getting someone to fight? Challenger approaching. Where the fuck are they? Girl, be serious. This fucking loser. Oh, we're at WWE. Yo, he's about to hit it with the rest. Like, he's literally not gonna know who he is. Like, nobody knows who you are anyway, so just get hit with the rest. Nobody cares about you. What the? The camera pan? I've never seen that in my life. Bye. Hit the rest. What? What's up? What's up? What's up? No, what's up? Oh, you have a laser beam? Okay, that's not fair. You want to get hit with the 2-stock rest? Hit the... Fuck me in the ass. No, what's up? I don't think that's fair. Me with the insta-kill? I don't think that's fair. Oh, not a good look for you. What the fuck? Oh, you wanna fight? You literally wanna fight? He's about to get the rest! Okay, like the little cinematic like fight thing, like what is happening? Like why does he change the camera angle? I'm getting nauseous. Okay, literally who is this guy? Is he from Tekken? Like no one GAF. Oh. I don't know how I didn't land that, but I landed this one! Whatever.
Kazuya Mishima wins.
Oh, you have a custom announcer for him? Oh, give me a break. I haven't beaten a level 8 computer yet. So you know what we have to do. I don't even have Captain Falcon unlocked. This sucks. I don't have Lucas unlocked. Where is everyone? I don't have anybody. Nobody knows. The WarioWare map, classic. Oh, they really don't have a counter? Oh, wow. A Fire Emblem character without a counter, I'm shocked. You totally just disassociated for a second. How is it already April? Hold on. Like, literally, I'm like... I feel like Fire Emblem just came out, and that was in January. What did they say? Go teach? Okay, I don't like their playstyle at all. That was not fun for me. I did not enjoy that really at all. Oh my god, young Link. I love this map!
1, go!
Tingle! Oh, I kind of gagged him.
Start the battle. Young Link.
A Mega Man.
1, go!
I remember the world stopped when Mega Man got added to the Smash. I remember exactly where I was. Ooh, I could go for some toast. Love some toast. Where were we? What? Oh, where was I? Upstairs in my old bedroom, and I used to have like a red desk that was like not cute, and it was like really weird looking. I remember what I was eating. The French fries I literally had yesterday from this local place, and they haven't changed since. And it's been like 6 years. Thank you for the follow. That was really generous. Oh my god. Ugh. I hate this playstyle. I'm not enjoying my time playing Young Link. Except for that, that's pretty satisfying when you hit a down spike.
Young Link wins.
New character. Fuck.
Stop battle. Alex.
A matchup.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hi, Rhea. I'm doing good. Oh. I ride my minecart. Oh! Wait, I forgot how to play this character. Wait, no, I remember. I have to play Minecraft. I have an iron sword. Can you please be nice? Please don't destroy my Minecraft crafting table. Please! Mario, literally mind your business. I got diamond. Get out of here. Diamond sword. You're done for. Exactly, exactly, exactly. That was not fair. You deserve to be put on this anvil and murdered. You're an absolute sick, disgusting creature. Can you please stay away from me? Stay away. Look what you did. Ah! Oh, I set him on fire. Go over there. Go near the TNT. Go play in traffic. It's so funny. I love it. Can you please, seriously, I don't have time for this. I have to make my Minecraft pickaxe. Yeah, you just got gagged. Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy. No, go over there. Go over there. It's a present. I eat my steak. I didn't want to do that. I didn't. Please. Please. Oh, Jesus Christ. Watch this, Mario. You're not gonna be... Oh my God, I almost just died like that. Mario. Give me a second. Just give me a second to collect myself. You're so sick in the head. You're fucking disgusting. Go to your wedding, you freak. You were a disgusting piece of trash. I'm building a house, if you could please. Please, look at him, he's sick. He's beating up a beautiful trans person from just building a house and crafting. I'm minding my business. Maybe that is Chris Pratt. Like, literally stay out of women's business. I just don't understand. And now he's about to spray me with a water bottle? You're like, you're sick. He took my pickaxe, like, you think you know somebody. Say goodnight, Mario. You're never gonna have children. I'm gonna end your life. Exactly. Gagged him. Exactly. Like, stay out of women. Oh, we're about to have a queen off. This is Mother. Thank God. I want to play as her so bad. She's one of my mains. Queen. Oh, please don't gag me. I would like to unlock you. Okay, I don't want to puppy guard the corner, but I need to unlock you, so if you could please... please go over there. I'm so sorry, Queen. Mother is home.
Three, two, one, go!
Pink Yoshi? You mean Birdo? The way Birdo was never an Echo Fighter for Yoshi is so annoying to me. Salute the sun! so not right. That's what I thought. Did you know if you're playing Wii Fit Trainer and you want to do more damage, if you hold this all the way up and you save it and then you do this successfully, it'll do more damage when you hit it. You have to charge this orb and then successfully take a deep breath and then it'll do more damage. I'm not even playing you, that's literally the strat. Damn it. Fuck you, Yoshi. Stretch those shoulders. The perfect guard? Eat.
Don't forget to exhale when exerting yourself.
She's so mother, like, actually. Like, no, not even just, like, as a joke. Like, she's actually queen. New character. Fuck you. The way they had to put the man in this, like, why? Just let Wii Fit Trainer be her gorgeous femme self.
3, 2, 1, go!
I forgot that does a ground. Okay, not to be that girl, but like Donkey Kong's kind of hot. Him and Bowser? Yeah. I'd watch it. I just spiked him. Wow. Nasty. Tell me something I don't know. Something I don't know. Something I don't know. Tell me so. Oh. And oh. And oh. Oh, fuck. What do we think we're gonna get next from the characters we haven't unlocked? Hopefully it's Peach. Oh. My guess is maybe Dr. Mario or Mr. Game & Watch. I don't know. I'm guessing. Oh. Can he stop blinking? Like, it's literally hurting my eyes. Salute the sun. Yeah, you charge up your move, I'll charge up mine. Oh, you missed yours, buddy, but I won't miss mine. Salute the... Oh. Your mom saluted the sun when I fucked her!
Let's tone up those legs.
Gag the fuck out of him. Thank you for lurking, Rhea.
Start battle.
Come on, I wanted a new character.
Samus.
Oh, that's right. They added Dark Samus as an Echo Fighter.
1, go!
Love this stage. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Yeah, eh. Did they not add Fountain and Dreams in this game? Because I feel like that is so rude if they didn't. Kirby, not too much now. Wow. That was nasty. Well, Kirby's going for the off the edge plays. Oh yeah, I should put on the Smash Balls. I'll add an extra life and then add Smash Balls. Because I missed the ultimates. I haven't seen them in so long because I just don't play with ultimates and stuff. That was only the Wii one. They changed it in this one so it's his great sword. Yeah, I agree. I like the cooking one, it was funny. One shot, it's over, Kirby. Sorry, boy. We don't even have Zero Suit Samus. Give me my queen. Give me my mother. That's not Zero Suit. Who the fuck is that?
3,
Oh, it's the Ice Climbers.
1, go!
Me and Oomph. Okay, I kind of just gagged the fuck out of them right there. Work. I was like, what is that mech? Like, why? What? Who is?
Battle.
Okay, let me go back and do a stock for get a final smash only from breaking a smash ball. Oh, you could make a gauge? Oh, I like that. That's kind of cool. What's FGC mean?
Stop battle.
Fighting game? Something?
Ice Climbers.
Oh.
3,
Hello, sir.
1.
Please don't hurt me. Oh yeah, fully. I mean, I've always been in it, but like I never felt like I could stream it, but I'm definitely in it now. Oh my god, why is he kicking my ass? I like never play the Ice Climbers. Just being quirky right now. Oh my god, guys, look, it's Tears of a Kingdom. I mean, Breath of the Wild. I mean, a game that's probably not gonna look any different from the first one. I mean, what? Oh! So crazy, love her. Gagged. Oh, he got gagged. No, what's up though? Like, what's up though? Like, what's up though? Like, what's up though? Like, what's up though? The worst final smash. Sorry. Bowser's about to have his again. Hold on, why? Not too much, Bowser. I only have 1 life? And Bowser has 2? Wait a second. When did that happen? When he ulted me because he's a meanie pants. Oh. Oh god. That did like literally nothing. Okay. Not him having it again. He's done it 3 times in 1 match. That's not fair. It is so cold. Why? Is it not spring? I'm making some food. Shit's happening. I haven't. What? I'm moving in silence? What does that mean? I literally have no idea what that meant. I was like, is there something happening with my stream? SB, I have not, but that's definitely the point of this. But King of Fighters, yes. I love Iori and Mai and Kyo. Those are my faves. But that's kind of the point of the series. We'll be playing all the fighting games. I want to play Samurai Showdown. I saw videos of it last night and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. What are you saying? Like, so what are you saying? That's another. Oh, and when I do this. Oh wow, she just disintegrated him. Hey, stop! Wait, is the Drag Race reunion next week or are they taking a week break? I mean, this week. Oh, wow. Pretty sure this Friday. That throws a wrench into my plans. Oh, that would have been such a sick fucking spike. Goodbye. New character? It's supposed to be every 5 minutes. Work. Yes! Love Captain Falcon. He's hot.
3, 2, 1, go!
Please, I don't want to die. I want to get Captain Falcon. Oh God, no! Captain Falcon, no, I really love you, please. Don't do this to me. Oh, please. Yes. Oh my God, that was so close.
Stop battle. Captain Falcon.
I'm gonna go check on my food. It still needs a couple more minutes. Yeah, I have to unlock all the characters. I have them on my other account, but it's my other account, so. Need to take out the trash. There's just so much to do. To edit the podcast. 3 episodes of the podcast I have to edit. Girl, I'm in for it. And 3 videos. Because I want visuals of like what we're talking about on the screen. YouTube is kind of running Patreon out of business though. Like they added a whole new feature to make it so there's Patreon incorporated into YouTube. I was like, oh, that's very interesting, isn't it? Okay, I think my stuff's done. Give me a second. Back again. Ooh. Come on. My door doesn't shut sometimes and it's really annoying. So I'm like, girl, I shut you. Keep it shut. Hello? Be so serious right now. Oh, okay, wow. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do the down, yeah. Oh my god, he's rocking my shit. Oh my god, he's about to two-stock me. I wanted to save the smash for when I got him dead and then could use it on him again. So I can hopefully get a lead. Good morning. I mean, I'm wide awake. Like, this is my, like, afternoon. I wanted to end him. I don't even care. Fuck this guy. Fuck this child. Fuck him. Bitch. We all jumped. We jumped.
3, 2, 1, go!
Everybody moved. I swear to God, this is my first loss. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh my God. Thank Jesus Christ. was like, we need her.
Start battle.
Oh wow. Hi sir.
Go!
What a beautiful surprise. Girl. I miss when she would bring out a frying pan and like a tennis racket like she did in Melee. That was camp. What was that? That did so much damage. Hello? Queen! Excuse me, I'm just gonna do this. At the next Nintendo Direct, they better be like, we are working on a new Princess Peach video game. Cause like, why haven't we gotten a new one? Like, what's that about? Croissant. What is that? Hello? Oh, he got gags. The smack. Wow. I was like 1 second early. I got it there, but I still took damage. That's weird. That does so much damage. That's actually insane. Oh my god, I got so lucky. Got him. I'm surprised they gave him a shirtless skin in this game.
Start battle.
Min Min was such a wasted spot. It should have gone to the Twin Towel.
We betray. Cling.
I don't know who to play.
Jigglypuff.
Oh my god, Minecraft! We're in Minecraft! Holy shit, we're literally in Minecraft. I didn't think they added a Minecraft map. This is actually hilarious. Wow, I just fucked that up so bad. I did my down B opposed to my up B. With the torches lighting up and the skeleton coming out. This is so cute. Oh my god, this is so fucking cute. Fuck you, Joker. You didn't get hit with it. Fuck off. Well, it's better than him getting it. A lot of people's ults don't really work with 1v1s. They're honestly probably built off of playing in a 4-man game. I don't like playing with 4 people. It gets too chaotic. Hurts my brain. I can't believe I missed that rest. Because he's such a twink. He's got the skinny limbs. Oh, I didn't know there was a counter. Ooh. I can't believe I just did that again. Oh, she clocked him. She said, "You will not best me." Do you mind? That was so rude. I just don't want him to get these. There we go. There's an Enderman! Watch out, everybody. Don't look at it, guys. I'm gonna... Oh. Oh, he got so fucking gagged. They should have added Mrs. Puff. Jigglypuff versus Mrs. Puff. Who's winning the queen off? Hit 3 rests. Get gagged. It's Ryu.
3, 2,
Not the streets map. Wow. Oh. Easy. What a fucking loser.
start the battle.
I actually don't mind it. I think Ken looks worse. Ken always looks worse. I'm missing so many characters.
Pyra!
Oh jeez, it's not this guy.
3, 2, 1, go!
Is there a lore reason why Pyra and Mithra are the same character? There has to be. Hi Ryan, thanks for hanging. Oh. Okay. I thought he was closer than he was. They must hate Rex, because I feel like Rex was like so requested. And then they were like, yeah, we'll give you 2 characters, but not Rex. I mean, I'm not complaining, we got 2 girl bosses, but like, oh. Oh wow. I was gonna say, does he not say go on Pyra? But he does. I was like, so rude. Oh my god, we don't even have Sonic unlocked. We have so many characters to unlock. Get gagged. Oh.
Did our best. Nice one, Pyra.
Nope, new character. So sad. What the fuck? You don't have Bayonetta either.
3, 2,
We just fought you. What the fuck? This character's busted. Should be removed from the game. Fuck. Now he's speedy. Get away from me, freak. That 100 plus move is so stupid. He has a move that if you're over 100%, he can just insta-kill you. So stupid. Damn. That's a huge L. And this is how you clear a bitch. The perfect guard? Fuck off. Get wrecked. New character. Yes. Not who I wanted, but I'll take a new character. Oh, it's Ike. I thought it was Roy. I'll take Ike any day of the week. Damn. Sorry, buddy.
Start battle.
Not the twink and then the mask version of him. So real. Right, I think that's enough for me. I think that's enough from me. Should turn off my Switch because I always leave it on like an idiot. I need to edit the podcast. Need to get some shit done before I go to the movies on Friday. Possibly stream tomorrow. Hopefully. I really hope. Is there anyone we can raid? Thanks for hanging.
Is that it? Is that all that's in here?
Give Nikki my love. They're amazing, stunning, and they look gorgeous today in this outfit. Like this blue eye and this like cobalt blue like shawl, like everything. But I'll be live possibly again tomorrow, if not on Saturday night, Sunday-ish. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging. Talk to you later.